Hey guys, welcome to the Mobile Center. Okay, so Samsung is trying to get us on the foldable trend and making its foldables more affordable than ever. More so with the Flip 3 this time around. A foldable phone that costs less than a regular flagship like the S21 Ultra or the iPhone 12 Pro Max, for example. Guys, this is a big deal, and I'll tell you why. Let's start talking about the Galaxy Flip 3 and let's see what the deal is all about. So Flip 3 has become a much better package this year around, and I can say it is far more appealing than even the Fold line of phones, okay? Why? Because on the one side where Fold tries to extend the existing horizons of unfolding into a mini tablet that we will talk about in detail in a separate video on Fold 3, here we'll talk about Flip, okay? So Flip does the extremely opposite by shrinking into half the size as a normal smartphone. I'd say the coolness quotient of this phone is really high. Modern day tech meeting old school form factor brings along some nostalgia for sure. And to top it, the Flip 3 comes in some amazing color options. 3 glossy ones and this matte black are available everywhere, and some more interesting matte finishes are available exclusively on Samsung.com. So I have ordered the white one from Samsung.com and would make a video on that as well. So whenever that arrives, I'll be doing the unboxing and I'll show you that white color, how the matte white color looks on the Flip 3. So don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to watch that video. Getting back to Flip 3's design, it has been refreshed and uses tougher materials than last year. I understand that foldables come with this preconceived notion in our heads around durability most of the times, okay? But I have used last gen Flip and Fold 2 extensively in the past, and I can assure you that these phones are durable and are only going to get better and safer more than ever because they bring along IPX8 water resistance this time around. So occasional water drops here and there, walking in the rain, etc. are safe, but don't carry it on the beach because it's still not dust proof. Okay, and if that's not enough, Samsung's giving you 1 year free Samsung Care Plus with Flip 3 and Fold 3 here in the UAE and a lot of other countries as well. Flip 3 in its folded form is this compact, tiny, easy to pocket device, which is slimmer than a Bluetooth earphone case, for example. On the outside, it brings a much larger cover screen that notifies you about basic things like calls or notifications and supports always on display too. Besides some interesting clock designs, it gives you quick access to your notifications to the left, some widgets to the right, brightness can be controlled by swiping down, and from bottom, you can summon the Samsung Pay. So yes, it's much more functional this time around, and yet I feel it can be better. For example, you can only interact with it when you double tap it to wake. I would have loved to see a raise to wake feature on this cover display to get that instant access to its functionalities. But probably they have avoided it because of the accidental touches, maybe. But that's not a big deal, okay? So now let's look on the inside. So on the inside, when unfolded, it transforms into a regular day-to-day smartphone with display measuring at 6.7 inches. The display quality is nothing less than what you see on any other Samsung flagship smartphone. It's bright, it's colorful, and this time around, it refreshes at 120 Hz, making everything really smooth and protected by a much better screen protector, which doesn't catch any smudges as it did on the last generation. And about this crease in the middle, guys, well, just don't worry about it, because if you could get used to this notch on your iPhones in the past, or any notch or any sort of things or interruptions on the displays, then this crease you're just going to get used to in just a couple of days. So let's not talk about that at all. But there are some other issues that I would like to talk about. Those things which require more getting used to, I would rather say. Meaning the unusual aspect ratio on the display. That makes it a bit narrower and a bit taller compared to usual smartphones. It also pushes the volume rocker a bit higher and makes it difficult to reach. Anyway, let's talk about this aspect ratio for a minute. Usual things like texting, calling, surfing through internet, watching videos, etc. are just fine. So the core experience is not hampered, but something to note that you will end up finding some apps which are not able to adjust to this aspect ratio and would end up leaving some black bars at top and bottom, like Instagram stories, for example, or certain games, those are not yet ready for this. So that's a trade-off you will be making for using this phone, alongside a not so good haptic feedback as well. The vibration motor on this thing could have been better, I guess. I mean, especially when you get these notifications from WhatsApp or messaging on the text messages, it vibrates in a very not premium way, I should say. Coming to the performance side of things, this phone can go toe to toe with any other flagship. Snapdragon 888 and 8GB of RAM with up to 256GB of storage space. That's good enough spec sheet for a powerhouse of a smartphone. And as expected, it runs smooth with the help from Samsung's One UI that is built over Android 11. One UI on Z Flip of course brings some extra tricks of its own. Biggest of them being the flex mode. This adds some unique features to this phone, mostly in the camera department. You can leave it in this half open mode, or Samsung likes to call it flex mode, and do your video calls or take pictures from its front facing 10 megapixel selfie camera. Selfies on this thing are really good and I have nothing to complain. More so because Samsung now allows you to disable infamous beauty mode and the results are crispy, natural looking selfies with all pores included. But if you like the smoother skin effects, then you can always enable this mode and adjust to your liking. It also brings wide and ultra wide sensors as main cameras, both measuring at 12 megapixels, and overall quality is not bad. Although you give up on crazy zooming capabilities like for example on the S21 Ultra or the other phones, but the regular pictures from this phone come out clean without any major issues. I'm not saying it's comparable to the S21 Ultra in terms of package or it's like an iPhone 12 Pro in terms of quality, but no, it does a good job in camera department. It's like a B+ camera, for example. I guess the software has been done really well to get such good results out of these sensors. Having said that, I feel the ultra-wide sensor can do a little better. And knowing Samsung, I'm sure the cameras on this thing are going to get better with time because they keep pushing out regular software updates addressing these issues. So this sounds like a very promising smartphone, but it is hampered by one big problem. That is its battery life. It's not terrible for sure, but it's not amazing as well. It's perfect workday phone, like you unplug at 9 AM with 100% in the tank, and by the end when you are finishing your work, let's say around 6 o'clock, you would be left with let's say 20% or 15% of battery life. That's what I have seen, with around 3.5 hours of screen on time. And to make matters worse, the charging speeds are capped at just 15 watts plugged in and 10 watts wirelessly. This won't be a problem for people who are around their desks at work or have access to power supply around their daily routines. And also for people like me, who mostly carry two phones as the usage gets divided between phones and hence a longer battery life on both of the phones. In fact, if you carry two phones, then you should definitely consider Flip 3 as it massively reduces the bulk in your pocket. Personally, I'm happy with this phone. Getting a water-resistant foldable experience alongside compact form factor in addition to a free 1 year of Samsung Care Plus makes it a compelling option at this price. If there's something more that you would like to know about Z Flip, then ask me in the comments below or connect with me on Twitter. Let's take the conversation there. Hit a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you for watching, guys. Cheers.